Everyone starts somewhere. So here's your roadmap from newbie to expert in rental investing. Hey, before we dive in, do me a favor, hit like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss my next breakdown. Hi, I'm Bud Evans, retired Air Force officer, former police officer, and now full-time real estate investor. I help veterans and first responders transition from service to success through rental property investing. If you're new to real estate investing, it can feel like you're trying to learn a foreign language while walking through a minefield. Lots of moving parts, big risks, and no clear path. But here's the truth: every pro you see today started out just like you, a rookie, still trying to figure it out. The difference between those who quit and those who succeed isn't luck, it's a system. So today, I'm going to give you a roadmap to go from rookie to pro in real estate investing, step by step. We'll cover the learning phase, deal analysis, finance, scaling systems, and mindset. Everything I wish I knew when I started and everything I teach now from Second Street Property Management and BE Consulting Services. Stick around until the end because I've got a rookie to pro real estate breakdown for you that will break this all down into a practical checklist that you can follow. So get your pen out, get ready to take some notes. Let's get into it. Step one, learn the game before you play. You can't win a game if you don't understand all the rules. And real estate investing has lots of them: financing, taxes, laws, tenants, maintenance, and the list goes on and on. When I first started, I thought, buy low, rent high. I thought it was all I needed to know, but I was wrong. The real key was understanding how the money flows through the deal, from acquisition to cash flow to exit strategy. Let's start by studying the fundamentals. Cash flow, which is your income minus all of your expenses, your net operating income, your cap rate, which is how profitable the actual property is, and then your cash on cash return, and leveraging and finance types. You don't need a degree, you just need to be consistent. If you read one chapter or watch one educational video per day, books like Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, or The Millionaire Real Estate Investor by Gary Keller, or Atomic Habits by James Clear, that's a really good place to start. Learning the basics builds your foundation, and it prevents you from learning the hard way through really expensive mistakes. Step two, build your network early. Real estate is a team sport. You're never going to be a pro if you try to play every position yourself. When I started, I tried to do it all, and I did for a little while. Finding deals, managing tenants, doing repairs, it worked for a while until it didn't. That's when I learned the power of leverage through people. So build your core four early. You need a lender, someone who understands the investor loans, VA loans, if you're house hacking, an agent or someone to source your deals. Ideally, if it's an agent, someone who's investor friendly, someone who understands deals, not just sells houses. You need a contractor or a handyman that is trustworthy and responsive. You need a mentor and a property manager. So someone who's already been there and they're where you want to be, and someone you want to learn from. Now, you want to join local meetups. You look at real estate Facebook groups or organizations like the War Room with David Perret, and surround yourself with people who talk about cash flow, not coworkers who talk about overtime. Because the people you surround yourself with are going to determine how far and how fast you grow. Okay, step three, start with one deal and nail it. Every investor wants 10 doors, 20 doors, a full portfolio, whatever that might be. But pros know that it's your first deal that really becomes your classroom. Don't overthink it. Just focus on buying one solid property and make sure it makes sense. That's how I started. I bought a single unit, and then I bought a second one, and then I bought a third one. But it was the first one that I managed myself, and I learned every lesson the hard way: tenant screening, maintenance coordination, rent collection. I made all the rookie mistakes, whether I was using an online system that didn't let people pay by ACH and I started taking checks and cash. That was a big mistake. But that first property taught me more than any book or a college education ever could. So let me give you a formula that I use to analyze every deal. These are guidelines, not hard and fast rules. So please use these with a grain of salt. First is the 1% rule. This is when your monthly rent equals at least 1% of your purchase price. If a property costs $200,000, then your rent should be $2,000 a month. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. It really depends on where you are. And run your numbers. Subtract your mortgage, your taxes, your insurance, your maintenance reserves. Vacancy and capital expenses have to be at least 10% set aside. If you're still positive, it's worth a deeper analysis. I created a GPT. It's a real estate consultant GPT. The link is in the description. It's an AI tool that I built to help you analyze deals and predict profitability fast. It does the math for you so that you can focus more on making the right decisions. So start small, learn big, scale intentionally. Step 4 is choosing the right financing strategy for your exit plan. Most rookies think financing, here. It's not, it's a tool. Leverage is a tool. Debt uncontrolled is debt. Loans that are leverage. If you're a veteran, your VA loan is your superpower, zero down and no PMI, and you can use it to buy a duplex, triplex, or quad, live in one unit, rent out the others, and let your tenants pay your mortgage. House hacking is a glorious thing. If you're not VA eligible, then look at an FHA loan or a USDA loan. USDA loans can be 0% down. FHA loans, 3.5% down, and conventional loans, 5 to 20% down. But once you've got your experience, you can graduate to creative financing. Things like seller financing, using private money instead of a bank, partnerships. Hey, if I do the work and you give me the money 50-50, or however you want to work it. BRRRR strategy: buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat. That's my favorite, honestly. Robert Kiyosaki says it best. It's not about the resources you have, it's about how resourceful you are. The goal isn't to find cheap properties here, it's to find creative ways to buy good ones. Step 5, systemize early, even if you're small, especially when you're small. Here's where most new investors will hit a wall. They grow fast, but their systems stay the same. You buy 2, 3, maybe 4 properties, and suddenly you're buried in text messages and invoices and emails and tenant requests. That's what happened to me before I built Second Street Property Management. At first, I was self-managing everything. Calls all the time, contractors ghosting me, rent, collection, payments, who's paying cash when they're not supposed to. I realized I didn't have a property problem. I had a process problem, and that was all me. So I built these systems. I created leasing templates and screening checklists, and I created a GPT for that. Maintenance workflows through Vu and other AI-based programs, digital rent collection, ACH payments, whatever you can do to make collecting that rent possible and fast. Tenant communication templates, email templates, SMS texting templates. Now everything runs smoothly, even when I'm not there. The key here is to act like a business from day one, not a hobby and not a side hustle. If you treat your rentals like a side hustle, they're going to pay you like one. But if you treat your rentals like a business, they're going to pay you like you're a professional. Step 6, let's talk about the 80-20 rule. It's the Pareto principle. You don't need to work 100 hours a week to be successful. You just need to focus on the right 20% of the actions that produce 80% of your results. What does that mean? Stop scrolling listings that you have no intention of buying or that you would never think of buying. Stop overanalyzing deals that you can't afford yet. Focus on learning, networking, and make sure you're time blocking and do it effectively. Reserve one block for deal analysis, one for education, one for relationship building. Consistency beats intensity every time. A couple of weeks back, I posted something called Your Hustle Might Be Killing Your Productivity. In the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey says the key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. You don't need more hustle, you need more focus. Step 7, and this is a big one because I did it: build for cash flow, not for ego. Look, military guys, you may not want to admit it. Cops, you may not want to admit it. We got big egos. And as you grow, you're going to start seeing the flashy side of real estate. People flipping mansions or driving new trucks. Ignore that shit. They are playing a different game. Not that you can't do it, but focus on whatever your niche is going to be. Your goal is steady cash flow here, not short-term glory. And watch out for the squirrels, man. Shiny is not always great. That means buying rentals that pay you every month. Avoid over leveraging or chasing appreciation. I'd rather own 10 modest properties that generate $800 to $1,000 a month each than one Instagram property that looks great but bleeds money every month. Cash flow gives you freedom, gives you time. Time lets you scale, and that's how you become a pro. Time is the one commodity that you can sell for $1, but you can never buy it back. So here's number 8. Learn to lead, not just to operate. At some point, you're going to stop being the doer and start being the leader. That's the final step from rookie to pro. You'll be managing people, systems, and capital, not toilets and tenants. That requires communication, vision, and accountability. You can't just manage your portfolio, you have to lead it. And you have to lead the people that are working to make you more wealthy. Hold weekly meetings with your property manager or your VA team, or review your KPIs. What's your rent collection rate, your maintenance costs, and cash flow per door? Set targets and then follow through. In the military, we had after action review. You do the same thing here. What didn't? What's next? That's how you keep improving, one iteration at a time. Let's recap the path from rookie to pro. Learn the game, understand your money flow, not just your deals. Next, build your network. Your team is your leverage. Third, start small. Get one solid win under your belt. Start with one. Next is master financing. Use tools like your VA or your FHA loans or your USDA loans if you can. Systemize early. Run your rentals like you would run a business. And then apply the 80-20 rule, and focus beats frenzy. Your focus will beat your frenzy. Then next, build for cash flow, not for show. Lead, don't operate. Review, refine, repeat. Follow these steps, and you won't just own properties, you'll own your own future. And if everything that you need to go from your first door to your first 10 doors, if you need any help with that, reach out to me. Go to budevans.com. Book a 30-minute strategy session. It's no obligation and there's no charge. I don't have a coaching or mentorship program. I just want to see you succeed. So if this breakdown was useful, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next video. Hey, I'm Bud Evans. Aim high, and I'll see you on the next one.